So today you're going to learn about digital photography, a few things that I'd like you to know. What is digital photography? What is the different types of digital camera equipment? How do you hold a camera? Focus first, flash or no flash, modes to live by, rule of thirds, perspective and angle, and level up. So what is digital photography? A digital image is made up of pixels, short for picture elements. A digital image is a grid of pixels. It captures an image as an electronic file, which allows for immediate feedback. The more pixels per square inch, the better the quality of the image. So 1.3 megapixel is going to have good quality, but it's not going to have as good a quality as a 5.0 megapixel. There's lots of different digital camera equipment. These are the three that we're going to go over today. First is a tripod. They are used to hold your camera steady. Next are memory cards. They store the files electronically. The file format most digital cameras save is JPEG. Lens attachments allow a variety of focal lengths. They come in wide angle, telephoto, and close-up versions. Now there's several ways to hold your camera. This is the ones that come from Digital Cameras World online. So to hold your camera, you need to make sure that you have your hand holding the camera, or both of them, and your elbows tucked in to keep your camera steady. Try to have your legs slightly apart so it makes your body more sturdy. And control your breathing. You don't want to be breathing heavy because then you'll move your hands. And then if you need to, if you're sitting down or something, you might want to rest on a table with your elbows just to steady the camera even more. If you have to go lower to the ground, sometimes if you put your leg up, you can use your leg to help steady your camera, or lean against a wall to help steady any type of surface to keep you from moving. A lot of cameras nowadays have an autofocus feature, especially if you have it on your cell phone. That usually focuses pretty well. Whether to use flash or no flash. Flash units are designed to illuminate close subjects, and the subject needs to be within 10 feet for this to work. How many of you have ever been to a concert and you take a picture of on stage, and then when you look at your picture, you can't see anything? That's typically, if you're like me, I'm not within 10 feet of the stage, so you can't illuminate the image in front of you. You only get the first few rows of people in front of you instead. Now, several of you have modes to live by on a digital camera, sometimes on your cell phone. They are exposure modes that help your camera, such as landscape, portrait, action, night, close-up or macro, movie, or red-eye reduction. For modes to live by, the action mode has a faster shutter speed so that moving subjects don't blur. To avoid having demon-looking eyes, if you turn on the red-eye reduction mode, that eliminates the red eyes. And there's also filters used to alter or enhance the images. These include polarization, fog and diffusion, graduated and neutral densities. To create an entirely different mood, perhaps the most important compositional tip is to simplify. Right now, if you look at the image, you don't know what they're taking a picture of. Was it the bike? Is it the people in the background? So if you go closer to the actual subject, it simplifies it. It's not as distracting. The rule of thirds is an idea to move the subject or other important compositional elements to areas of the photo other than the center. It puts these tic-tac-toe kind of looking lines, and if you put the subject where they intersect, that makes the image more engaging, almost shows motion. Perspective and angle. The only way to change your perspective is by changing your camera's angle and position to the relation. So if you're taking a picture of, let's say, this wonderful pineapple, that's a typical image that you would get when you go on vacation. But if you change your perspective and maybe look at it from a different angle, it makes it a little bit more interesting. Now, famous landscape photographs have at least 3 layers of interest, usually a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. It gives perspective. And if you take pictures of either people or pets, it's best if you take them from the level of your subject.